Good evening, everyone. This is your evening news recap, your nightly news podcast on all the news that I come across throughout the day, giving you my take as somebody who aspires to be a politician in the near future. Hopefully, all you guys are doing wonderful. Hopefully, all you guys are doing well. Sorry for the lack of episodes over the last few days. I have been horrendously sick, like not even being able to breathe or talk. It has been bad, but we're feeling a little better today. So, we're here making the news. But hopefully, all you guys are doing well. It's definitely been an interesting day in the news world today. And if you didn't catch it on Substack, I posted a recap over the few days that I missed, I believe yesterday. So go check that out if you're interested. It's only in written form, there's not an episode, but if you're interested in that, feel free to check that out. Outside of that, though, hopefully all you guys are doing well. Again, sorry for the lack of episodes. It's been a struggle, but we're here, we're back, and we're going to get back on the daily news recap as we do. Little update since I always do. Fresh set. What do we think? I'm a big fan. I love the bow so much. Big fan of that. If it'll focus. Last time it was Minecraft. This time it's very, very pink. So big fan of this. Glad I went back to pink because I always like pink. But outside of that, hopefully all you guys are doing well. It's been a very interesting day in the news world. So let's get into it. Moving on into the Trump administration segment, as we do, Trump says FBI agents were at the January 6th event. Trump has come out on True Social saying that the FBI was present during January 6th. Once again, he took to True Social saying, "It has just been revealed that the FBI secretly placed, against all rules and regulations and protocols and standards, 274 agents into the crowd just prior and during the January 6th host. This is different from what Director Christopher Wray stated over and over again. That's right, as it turns out, FBI agents were at and in the January 6th protest, probably acting as agitators and insurrectionists, but certainly not as law enforcement officials. I want to know who each and every one of these so-called agents are and what they were up to on that historic day. Many great American patriots were made to pay a very big price for the love of their country. I owe this investigation of dirty cops and crooked politicians to them. Christopher Wray, the director of the FBI, has some major explaining to do. That's 2 in a row. Comey and Wray, who were caught lying, with a great deal of our country at stake. We can never let this happen to America again." This is very interesting. Now, the president does not correctly or directly, that's not the word, directly control the FBI. Well, he isn't supposed to. It's a little different right now. But, directing thousands of people to march to the Capitol while having FBI agents related to your administration within that crowd can't be a coincidence, in my opinion, at least. Did Ray and Trump have the greatest relationship? No. But there is no reason why FBI agents should have been in that crowd, which is why I think this is a little too odd to just say, that they were in there being the insurrectionists and all of that. Like, I really just don't think that's the case. I think there's a little more to it that this administration is not saying, and hopefully we can get that in an investigation, but honestly, I don't think we will. In other news, Trump is planning to attend the general gathering in Virginia. Trump has announced in an interview with NBC News that he will be attending the meeting organized by Pete Hegseth that will have hundreds of military generals in attendance. Trump said, "It's really just a very nice meeting to talk about how well we're doing militarily, talking about being in great shape, talking about a lot of good, positive things. It's just a good message. We have some great people coming in and just an esprit de corps. The expression esprit de corps, that's all it's about. We're talking about what we're doing and what they're doing and how we're doing." The entire meeting of this is so odd to me, and that's really why I think they're lying. There is no reason for top military generals to be attending this meeting. If this is the reasoning for it, we're wasting their time if that is. But that's once again why I think they're lying. Quick little history drop for you if you don't know. In English. Quick little history drop. This is a similar tactic used by Hitler in June of 1935. He called top generals to meet in Berlin and made them swear personal oaths to him, and claiming that their former constitutional oath was a void. With the amount of things taken out of the Nazi playbook by this administration, it would not shock me at all if that was the case here as well. Many of those exact generals faced execution or forced retirement if they did not comply. And although I don't think we'll see executions, nothing would shock me at this point if we saw things like forced out retirements and all of that. And I think that will be the case if that is what's happening. And that's honestly what I believe the reasoning for this meeting is. Granted, Do we know if we'll get a media presence or not? No, but it'll be interesting to say the least. In other news, we have some insane news as ICE is detaining children and leaving them without clean water for long periods of time. Children in ICE custody have been spending weeks in detention with shortages of clean drinking water, sleep deprivation, and lack of medical supplies, along with no prompt attention at a facility in Texas. The facility, located in Dilley, Texas, contains children and parents and has been described as a prison-like environment where detainees live in trailers. One boy in the facility complained about stomach pains for 6 hours before he was rushed to a hospital for emergency appendicitis surgery. And families are being prevented from doing things like holding hands and, being a family, along with education only taking place an hour a day with very little real teaching and only consisting of things like coloring. There is so much more information. The Guardian article was a great one, so you should go check that out. But you all should look into this truly, because it is absolutely fucking disgusting. Nobody deserves to go through this, especially children, and it is absolutely insane that this is probably the case in multiple facilities throughout the country. It is absolutely disgusting that this is happening to children, for one. That is fucking disgusting. Not even providing access to clean water is insane. Preventing families from being families is insane. This entire administration is fucking insane, and it needs to end. Fuck ICE and fuck Donald Trump for starting all of this bullshit. It is absolutely disgusting that we are, leaving children without clean drinking water when that is one of the necessities for you to live as an individual is clean drinking water. Yet we're preventing children from getting that, which is absolutely fucking disgusting and should not be the case in any way, shape, or form. Take a sip of water real quick. Anyways, in other news, moving on to our other news segment. As we do, we have a few topics in here. The first one being there's been, unfortunately, a shooting today at a Michigan Mormon church. Multiple people have been injured and one killed in a shooting at the Church of Jesus and Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc, Michigan. Authorities say the attacker rammed a vehicle through the front of the church during service and started shooting. The attacker intentionally also started a fire that grew into a blaze throughout the church. People believe that they may find more victims within the church because of this, and the attacker has been identified as a 40-year-old Michigan man and was killed by police on scene. My condolences to the families of those who may have passed with this situation, and I wish a full recovery to all of those injured. This is another crazy attack that displays the violent struggles that we have in our country today as we speak. I'm pretty sure in the past 24 hours there has been there's been three mass shooting events or shooting events, and it's absolutely disgusting. The motives of this aren't clear as of now, but I really hope anyone who was harmed is able to get the assistance they need, because this is not okay and it never should be. Anyways, moving on into our final topic for tonight, Eric Adams has dropped out of the New York City mayoral race. Current New York City Mayor Eric Adams has announced that he is dropping out of the race for New York City Mayor about a month before Election Day. Adams, who has been trailing in the polls by large numbers, was elected as a Democrat but is now running as an independent due to federal corruption charges. And in a video for the statement, he sat next to a picture of his late mother and said that it had been impossible for him to mount a winning campaign due to constant media speculation of his future. He acknowledged the loss of trust to the city and the charges that he claimed were unjust, and that he claimed once again that he was wrongfully charged. This all comes after Adams insisted that he would not leave the race 3 weeks ago, but now that is not the case. I also don't believe he is endorsing anyone. I think I saw an article. I didn't read it, but I'm pretty sure I saw an article saying that he refused to endorse anyone, but that's not 100%, so don't take my word for that. Anyways, there was no chance that he was going to win this race, and it's not shocking in the slightest. Zoran Mondami has that race in the bag, on lock, and it is going to be a great thing when that happens. I'm sure most people are realizing that at this point, but I'm so excited to see Zoran Mondami win. Genuinely, I'm so excited to see what he does in New York City, arguably the greatest city in the world as an American, and I'm excited to see what he does, whether that be the city or state owned grocery stores, whether that be overall socialist policies. I just am so excited to see that man prove that socialism is not only possible within the United States, but can actually flourish and be helpful and be successful. Because that's what we need. We need a government that actually supports the people rather than tearing us down and supporting these corporations that we have today. And I think Zoran Mondami is going to do great in that regard. And I am so excited for that. And I hope it causes, a larger rise in these socialist policies throughout the countries, because that's what we need. We really need a government that supports the people rather than a government that spends all of its time shitting on the people and, supporting corporations, because that shouldn't be the case. With that being said, though, I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. It has definitely been a very interesting day. Outside of that, though, hopefully all you guys are doing well. If you are new here, please consider subscribing, as we are on our way to 500 subscribers, and all the support would be greatly appreciated as we try to hit that goal by the end of the year. I have faith that we can do that, so let's get it done. And if you're on Substack, please also consider pledging your support. Please also consider subscribing. All funds go to me. They help me pay for the things that I need to pay for in college, like food, like clothing, like all of that. But if not, you can always subscribe for free. I truly do appreciate all forms of support on this content. It means the world to me. Thank you all so much for watching today's episode, and I will see you all in the next